and I'm here, and then I'm going to play and I'm going to survive in this game, and then I'm just going to be a 10-year veteran. 15 years in, I'm going to make me about 5-10 million. I'm finna retire, go chill on the bank in the lake and kick my feet back up and talk about the glory days. If that's what you believe, sir, I don't know if it's going to go down like that.
What are you thinking? Yeah. What are you thinking? Yeah. If you wanna know my thoughts, open your ears when I talk. Yeah. What are you thinking? Hey. What are you thinking? Hey. If you wanna know my thoughts, open your ears when I talk. Yeah.
Welcome back to another edition of the Arnold's Thoughts Podcast. I am your host, Arnold Lewis. If this is your first time, I help athletes prepare mentally for a life of overseas basketball. If this is your first time to the show, please do me a huge favor, hit the like button, subscribe, and welcome to the show. Now, if you've been here or you've watched any of my episodes before, this is going to be a little different. This is something new that I'm trying for the show. I'm creating a network. I've been doing this podcast for a while now, maybe over a year, and you just evolve. And as I watch how the times go, and I watch how just life is moving, especially in the field that I'm in. I am a 10-year professional basketball player, but I'm also a media specialist. I am taking this network, this platform, and trying to elevate it to reach the masses so I can further help. Because the whole concept of this show is to give you a perspective of a player in the overseas basketball world. Growing up, no one talked about overseas basketball. No one really gave you the what's what, like what's really going on, how things really are. And I felt it's sort of a calling for me to speak my journey to those out there, because there's something that you want and you can find it and it wasn't there for you. That means it was meant for you to create or for you to do. And this is for me what this platform is all about. Giving back to the guys, giving back to that young 23, 24-year-old getting out of college with no job, just graduated, no job, no contract, just praying and hoping and wishing for a dream that I can one day play overseas basketball. And 10 years later, I have the blessings and the grace of God to be able to continue to play this game. And along this journey, I've been able to pick up a few gems and nuggets that I feel that is necessary, and it's an obligation that I share back with whoever turns the ear and wants to hear what I have to offer. I hope the words that I choose be a blessing to your life, and it gives you a perspective that maybe you haven't heard before. And maybe I can plant a seed to inspire you to be better than you were the day before. So I want to welcome you to the Arnold's Thoughts Podcast on the ATP Network. Now, as we start the show, excuse me for a second, got my nose running a little bit. I just arrived in Chile, so it's a change of scenery. You know, with a change of scenery, you're going to catch those little sicknesses in the beginning. Once you change sceneries from one country to the next, you always seem to get this little sickness or things that happen that's going to kind of, I wouldn't say bring you down, but it's going to test your immune system. That's why it's very important for you to eat right, take care of your body, because you're going into different environments and different cultures. And so that's going to touch your body, and your body has to be resilient enough to not be sick, because a lot of guys go through that sickness when they get to a new country. And as of now, like for example, we played this weekend tomorrow, as a matter of fact. And if my body wasn't strong enough, I could have been too sick to be able to not perform to the level of my capabilities because of a sickness. And it might seem like it's not a big deal, or it's not really that, it's not going to happen to me type attitude until it does. As aspiring pros, or the pros that do listen, it is very important to take care of your body so you can have a long career, so you can fully maximize all the game has to offer, because your body is able to keep up with all of the what comes with the life. So getting started in the beginning of the show, I was doing some thinking on which way I want this show to aspire to be. You know, I want to make it interactive. I want to take segments and really break down a certain segment and dive deeper as we cover a topic. And to start off, I was just thinking of just the journey of an overseas basketball player. And I was able to come up with, I don't know what you call it, an overseas basketball player's spiritual. Ooh, I like that. An overseas basketball player's spiritual. Oh my God, that's a hymn. That is a hymn right there. Now, you have to be in the game to understand. It's literally like, I've been working all day and the GM still ain't paid. Sing that thing, boy. Said, I've been working all day and the refs won't give me a call. Oh, Lord. Preach! Listen, that just came to me. That just came to me. You know why? Because now that I think about the game, it's literally like it's such a beautiful, how can I explain this? It's such, you're working. It's like it's just such a beautiful, hard journey. It's like the pains and the ups and downs that you go through is just like, when it's done, it's going to be like, boy, back in my days, man, they used to play me for 40 minutes. I'm sitting here telling the coach, let's do one thing. He not listening. I got the young guy who always come in and turn it over. You just get to reminiscing. So, got to get one of the overseas basketball players' spiritual. I got a spiritual for you guys. I got a hymn. I feel it deep down in my soul. You know what I mean? I feel it. Body and mind seamlessly align. In every step, strength and thought entwine. As an overseas basketball player's journey, paths we take, with each dribble, our dreams await. In the courts afar, our skills we hone, not just in muscle, but in mindset grown. For every shot, for every focused mind, in every game, our spirits bind. Prepare your body, prepare your soul. For every hoop, there's a greater goal. In unity and strength, our powers blend. To our hoop dreams, the basketball gods we send. Boy! Welcome to the show, man. That was the first ever overseas basketball spiritual. Man, that was the first ever overseas basketball spiritual on the ATP Network on Arnold Stars Podcast. Did you heard it here? If you've ever heard it, you hear it first, man. Listen, I love this game. I really love this game. And man, you just understand that it teaches you so much in life. It teaches you so much on how to grow, and it touches a different part of your spirit. It just touches a different part, because to get the most out of it, you have to be able to survive the grind. You have to be able to survive the grind. But we're going to move on to the first section of the show. Second section, I don't know. We're going to move on to the section called Fact Over Feelings. Now, if you've ever listened to Fact Over Feelings before, I always had it as a separate. It was like another show. I did my regular, interviews. Sometimes I have interviews. I have guys on here and we talk. And then other times I just break down concepts of the game that we go throughout the week and throughout the year. Well, I always record these shows back to back to back before I upload them, because I pre-upload them. I might as well just combine them all into one big show and see how that serves me. So this first segment is going to be Fact Over Feelings. Now, this segment, Fact Over Feelings, is really about how we can learn to put the things inside of us that may want to keep us from achieving what we need to achieve in life. Those excuses, those doubts, whatever those may be for us, we take those feelings and put them to the side and we look at the facts. That's why this segment is Fact Over Feelings, because sometimes our feelings get in the way of what we need to do in order to maybe take our lives, take whatever situation that we have in front of us to the next level. And it's very important to not let our feelings affect us. I wouldn't say not affect us, but do not let them dictate what needs to be done. And this certain segment is about how you never know what someone is going through in their life. So upon my arrival here to Chile, I was in the airport and I seen a young lady come and sit right in front of me. She came and sat right in front of me, and then you know how you see somebody and you say, that person's going through something. That person's going through something. You could see the sadness in her face. She was about 5'7", very slim, wearing all black, had a black hoodie on, very short cut. I'm just trying to paint the scene for you guys so you can understand. And it was around 9 at night. We were all waiting on our flight. I had probably like another hour until my flight. And you just can't help but to feel the sadness across from where I in particular was sitting, which was I was sitting here, she was sitting directly across from me, and the entire airport was filled. Like, it was full. Everybody's waiting on their flight. So we're in Panama, and everybody's waiting on their flight. But I can feel that sadness because I felt that before. I was in that same position before. It's kind of funny how things come back around in your life that you don't really realize in that moment, but when they come back around full circle, you see exactly where it is and how that part of life is playing out right in front of you once again from another person's perspective. Now, let's rewind back to my particular time when I was in the airport and I was that person sitting across who was also crying. In the airport with everyone around me waiting for their flights, but whatever they're going through in that moment, you don't know that it says, I don't care that there's 1,000 people in here. Whatever I'm going through is bringing me to tears, and I can't control them. I can't hold them in because the pain is too deep. The pain that I'm feeling right now is affecting me so much that it doesn't matter who's around me. These tears are going to flow today. Judge me if you may, but what I'm going through at this moment is a little rough for me right now. No matter what it is, no matter what I may be doing in this current situation, the pain is too deep. And I remember sitting in those same seats, and I remember the pain was so deep. I had recently lost my father. I was sitting in the airport. I was reflecting on the season that I just had. I was coming from Chile from another team, headed back home because I had got injured and my season was over early. Though I was very, very, very grateful, that's something that I learned after my father passed, was to be grateful for every single day that's in front of me. Grateful for every moment and opportunity that is presented to me in this game. But I just remember in that moment how the pain that I felt. And it was a man, whoever you are, sir, thank you. You don't know what your little indignations of help, your little action of help can leave such a landing effect on another person. And he reached out and he had like those little square little napkins, and he just handed me some. And he handed it to me and I just took it and I cleaned up, But they small. They small, so I needed more. I was waterfalls. I was waterfalls, but in that moment, I was just so happy, I remembered his act of kindness. And here I am, fast forward 3 years later in the same situation, and I look in my bag and I have the same type of napkins. I have the same type of napkins that I took. Here you go. The things that we go through in life, we never know how they shape and mold us, and how they're all just a test for us that's going to be displayed for someone else somewhere down the road. So we never know what someone's going through. And a lot of times the same thing they're going through may be something you just overcame. So when we're going through our go-through, we have to understand that it's just a test, and it's for a purpose for us to be there for that next person. And I was just so in awe in that moment of how life comes in full circles. How it's our duty as spiritual beings to help another person in their everyday life, because we never know what they're going through. We never know when we're going to be in our moments of defeat, heartache. We never know what we're going to be going through when we're going to be our time to sit inside that airport and be boo-hoo crying our eyes out. We don't know when that time for us is coming. Because I can guarantee you, everybody going to have their one moment. Everybody going to have their in the dark moment where we don't care if it's 10,000 people here. The tears is going to flow today. And we have to be very mindful to be helpers one to another. We have to be helpers one to another because we're going to need help. We're on this earth, but we're not on this earth just solely for ourselves. We have to be united as one, as to me, as I feel we are spiritual beings. We're all connected. Strip away the skin, strip away the limbs, the color. If I can feel you from across the room and feel what you felt, that's nothing short of spiritual. Don't have to know somebody. You don't have to never speak to them, never see them again a day in your life, but I feel you. I feel you. I know what you're going through. And I've been through that, and I got you. I got you. Listen, that was fact over feelings. You never know who you may help. You never know what someone's going through. So always be that willing bystander. Be that willing person to be able to give back to life, because we never know what our simple act of kindness can do for one another. Hey man, that's real. That's real, and I'm glad I got to share that experience with that person. I'm glad I got to go through that experience with that individual. It was that right there is amazing. Moving on, man. What's up, guys? I just dropped my new ebook, 6 Must-Have Steps to Be an Overseas Basketball Player. You know, I've been playing for the last 9 years. I got all the steps and the traits that you need to start your journey with networking, with getting a mentor, all the things that you need to start your journey to be a protege. So go get that ebook, click the link in the bio, and make sure you get your steps to being that overseas pro one day. Let's go. Moving on, we're going to go into our next segment of the show, which is Keys to the Game. As I've said before, I normally have certain episodes where I was going through each episode of Keys to the Game, where I break down a few keys that I can give to any athlete who is aspiring to play and be in this life of overseas basketball, or are already in the life and want to know some extra information to help them along your journey. Because you can never not get enough information in this game that can help you get a better contract. You know, get it on a better team. It's all about the connections and the networking that you have and the people that you know, especially in this game. So this is Keys to the Game, where I give you a few keys to help you in your game as an overseas basketball player. And today's topic is going to be, what's your winning method? What is your winning method in life? As an athlete, as a pro, as an aspiring pro, you have to have a method that allows you to get there. There is no, I just wake up and I'm here and then I'm going to play and I'm going to survive in this game, and then I'm just going to be a 10-year veteran. 15 years in, I'm going to make me about 5-10 million. I'm finna retire, go chill on the bank in the lake and kick my feet back up and talk about the glory days. If that's what you believe, sir, I don't know if it's going to go down like that, particularly. So the question I ask is, what is your method to winning? What is your winning method? Throughout my years, I've created a system. You know what? That is an unfair question. No, it's not. I take that back. It's not an unfair question. It's a question I wish someone would have asked me when I was back in high school. What's your winning method? And I think if we can plant the seed in every athlete's mind to understand that you have to have a process to get to the level and get paid the way that you want to in this life. What is your winning method to get paid and get the most out of this life? Because in this life of overseas basketball, it's what you can make out of it. It's not that every time I go to another team, I'm finna get paid, and if I play good this year, my salary finna jump up tenfold, and I'm finna go from making $2,000 to $15,000 a month. That's not what. Okay, what is your steps to getting there? Throughout my years, I've been able to come up with. Now, this took me 9 years of playing to understand and bring this whole concept into being. 10 years now because it continues to grow, and it's called the 88 rule. What is the 88 rule? The 88 rule is something that I created. It's not even what I created, it's an aspect of my life. 7 championships in 8 years. That's an 88.8%. I know it's 88%. Excuse me on the point. But it's the mindset one must have in order to reach that level of intensity, of domination, of winning mindset. You do not win 7 championships in 8 years with 6 different teams without having a strategic plan to do so. There's a method to what you do that contributes to you winning at this level. And throughout my years, I understood that, hey, I have a concept that I have been applying that has been allowing me to be able to win at such a high level for such a long time. And it's called the 88 rule. Now, there's so many different aspects to the 88 rule, but I can keep it pretty simple. You have to change your mindset in order to change your mindset. I hate to say it so simply, but you have to change your mindset to reach another mindset. If you want to be if you want to be a winning player, if you want to reach a high elite status, your mindset has to change in order to do everything that's necessary to get to that status. To get through the moments in the game that's going to cut your legs out from under you. And this game is going to take time. And I think that's one thing that we do not emphasize enough, or it is not emphasized enough as being a professional basketball player, especially an overseas basketball player. You're going to have to survive long enough to be able to reach a certain point that where this game is going to be able to take care of you, because it's a very, very steep mountain that one wrong step, one wrong turn, one wrong incident with a team, and then your career is over with. And a lot of times it's because the mindset falls and breaks down because it's not strong enough to understand what is necessary to be able to get to a point where you can use the game enough to create the life that you desire. Because there's so many perks and pluses to being an overseas basketball, such as this. I'm able to have time to sit and create this show, this network. I get a chance to build something and create something because, let's be honest, we had shoot around today. I went to go, not shoot around, we had practice at 9:30. I got done with that, went and got a haircut. I went to eat, relax, I went to sleep, and then I get up and just shoot a show for an hour and a half or however long the show turns out to be. But I have this time, the luxury of this time. When I was at home, I was buying a house, I had my daughter with me, I had a job I had to go do, I had so many other little things that can keep you unfocused, or just so many life issues that gets in the way that do not allow you to, start a business that you want to do or something of that aspect. So the time that you need, like, that's one of the perks of being a pro. Now, I ain't even gonna lie with y'all, I went into that rant and I kind of lost my take a little bit. But in order to make it in this game for a long time, you have to understand that you have to have that mindset shift that allows you to get there. You have to have a certain system it transforms your mind in order for you to survive for a long time. Because you're going to go through so many stuff that's just going to be like, bro, I didn't sign up for this. Well, guess what? Yes, you did. And mine is I created the 88 rule. After playing in COVID, after burying my father during the season, burying my grandma during the season, after being cut, after being traded, mid-season, after being lost, after being jailed, after being through so many ups and downs, after going on a team for 5 days and getting cut, after not playing for over a year and coming back, after playing on a tournament, it's just so many things that want to deter you from actually grasping the best parts out of the game. Is your mindset strong enough to be able to survive it? Is your mindset strong enough to be able to handle what all the games has for you? Because there's so much parts in this game, like I can't go through every single step, but we're going to go through each week, every single time, like just the perspective of athletes and the perspective of what it is to actually be a pro and the real life situations that you have to go through along the way that just shows you, like, man, dang, is this what it really is? That's why you have to have your method. For me, how I control my mind and I strengthen my mind. Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. If any of you guys listen to the Bible or read the Bible or have ever heard that, it's like you literally transforming your mindset in order to get what you want. Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. You have to change your mind in order to change your mind. For me, the 88 rule consists, it broke it down to, so when I got to the point is I had to get more inside. All this external situations that happen, if I can change my perspective from the inside and look at it from a perspective that this is just something that's trying to hinder me and this is not anything that I cannot overcome, but that comes with time. That comes with a lot of work, a lot of meditation, a lot of visualization. That comes with doing a lot of extra work, a lot of one more attitude, like the speaker Ed Milet. If you ever read his book, I would advise everybody to definitely pick up his book, especially if you want to play in this game. I believe the information that we get through trying to work on our personal development as a person can elevate our game so much, because as you're navigating through this life, you have to become a different person to be able to even become the basketball player that you need to be. So literally understanding your personal development journey goes along with your basketball journey. It's just an aspect of the game that I understand, that I say, okay, let me adopt this one more mindset. Let me start understanding how the mind works, understanding how am I able to win with each one of these teams and win these championships in different countries. How am I able to do that? And let me break it down step by step. And matter of fact, let me hone in on this to fully take advantage of it. Because how many times you see somebody be doing something they don't even know? They just think, oh, I've just been doing this and it's happened by accident. Imagine if you actually take the time to break it all down and develop a system that is already proven to be successful, so you can fully maximize the full potential. When you add the discipline to just the raw gift, you can fully what's the word I'm looking for? You can fully obtain everything that is due for you. You can't say like, you know what, I didn't give it all and I didn't do everything I needed to do, because you took the time to break it down the steps and strategically plan your way and develop your own winning method. Mine is the 88 rule. I'm going to continuously give you step-by-step tips and what that really aspires to be and what that really means to apply the 88 rule to your life so it can help you. Well, that's all we got for this section. Fact over feelings. I know I kind of got into it, but my winning method is the 88 rule. And I challenge you to start to seek out what is your methods for you in order to have what is your winning method? Do you have a name to it? What is your aspects to your winning method that is guaranteed to get you to where you need to be as an overseas pro? I hope that helps you guys. That's all we got for that segment of Fact Over Feelings. We will be moving on. So I want to just give a little breakdown of my time here. I am back in Chile once again now. I had like a love-hate relationship with Chile because I've been here so many times. I've been here so many times and I started being like, man, I'm so much better than this. I come to this team, I come to this country, I always dominate. I've been here for 6 different times, almost it seems, and I've won 5 championships. I've been with 5 different teams, and that's so ungrateful of me. Because as a player in this game, to be able to have a place that you can consistently go back to, a place that always wants you to be successful, and that always has your back, that is something that every athlete can dream of. Because when you're in a pinch, because I can tell you right now, there are people that hits me up every single day like, hey bro, put me on the chili, put me on. I need to get on. And I could do my best. But that came through me being able to handle business and where I'm at. And even though whatever my thought process on, am I better than here or whatever, I learned to just kind of abandon that mindset and just continuously to grow in myself and understand that, hey, regardless of what you got going on, you got a place that you can call your own that will always be able to give you a check to be able to sustain yourself, and you can always go back to. There's guys who don't make it far in this game because they don't have nobody that say, you know what, you can always come back here. You can retire here. We don't want you to leave. We're gonna pay you. We're gonna take care of you. I don't care where it's at. You ain't gonna find nobody. You ain't gonna find a lot of guys who got down home that can just say, well, you know what, I can take 3 years off and get right back up, and I know if I call this guy in this country, he gonna put me back on, and I can go and play the game and get back right. Or I might be going through a little slump in my career, and I can just go to this country, get my legs back right, get things going. You're not gonna find too many players that go just have that luxury. So I always, instead of me putting the country down or saying whatever about the league, I just always want to pay my gratitude to being able to have some place like that, because that right there is like it's a blessing for real. So I'm on Osorno, Espanyol de Osorno. I ain't never played with them before, and of all the teams I didn't play for, I never played with them. I didn't play for Valdivia, CDV. I didn't play for Los Animas. I've already played for Concepcion. I played for Puerto Tavares, and now I'm playing for Espanyol de Osorno. So there's 5 teams in Chile I've played for. I've won with every last one of those other teams. So it's only right that I come to this team and I win here as well. And the crazy thing about it, the guys on the team are guys, of course I've been in the league so long, I know majority of the guys. And I was talking to one of them because me and him played for 2 years together when we was in Los Animas. We won the championship there. And we were talking today and we were like, look bro, we definitely have the team to win it all. We definitely have the team to win it all. Why? One, I played with him. He's an older, veteran guy. He knows the game. We already have winning aspects, winning mentality, because we've already been in that aspect of winning before. We've already won before. Another guy on the team, we won a championship before as well. My very first one here in CDV and for Valdivia, Chapa Suarez. Sebastian Suarez, we call him Chapa. We won together, my very first championship here. So he has winning, a winning background. We won a championship of the whole league together my first year. So I've won with him before. Another guy on the team, we played together in the same cup for a whole season, and we won a championship together. Another one of the starters on the team, he won a championship with another team. So we have a lot of guys who are in their upper 30s, I think majority of these guys are between 28 to 30, the main core guys. The point guard, he played in the finals for the last 2 years. So we have a lot of guys that have a lot of potential and mindset to be able to say, hey, we got a chance to win in this thing. We got the pieces. It ain't like, oh, I'm trying to get mines and this and that. Bro, we're all pros. We're all winners. You have arguably the best player that's ever been in this league. I've already won this league so many times. We have what it takes. Let's win. So I really feel like we have a really good opportunity of winning because we have the winners in the structure to be able to win. We got a good coach. I only know him. We ain't played no games before, but there's something about these Argentinian coaches, these like old head Argentinian coaches. I just get along with them so well. Coach, his name is like Marcelo. I don't know what coach last name. Marcelo something. You know they beat them, tiny guys. They beat about always the point guards, real tiny, real tiny guys. But great coach so far. He's a great coach so far. I wouldn't even say so far. I just know we're gonna have probably a really good time together in the season because just his mindset and preparation towards the game. He was talking about a situation where he was like, man, listen, guys supposed to have everything inside of their apartment like done. You're supposed to have your microwave, your TV, and this. For context, when I arrived, it was a joke. So if you go on my social media, I make the video. So the content that I made was I arrived to the gym, I arrived to my apartment, and I didn't have no bed sheets, no dishes, no refrigerator, like a whole list of things. Half of the things on the list was true. Half of them was just because I was gassing it up just a little bit more to make it more funny. And I didn't even know he followed me. Now, that's another part of all of this you guys got to know. Teams, coaches from all around, they're watching you on your social media. They're watching you on your social media. They're seeing what you do. They're seeing how you act. They're watching what you post to see what kind of person you are. You have to understand that. This isn't just about I'm out here and I'm posting myself in the club. I got the bottles and I got the joint. Listen, bro, they watching. You have to understand that they watching. So I didn't even know. So he looked at my page and he seen it and he was just saying like, he was hitting me up like, hey, you need this, you need that. And I was really like, what's going on? You know what I mean? But I appreciate him showing his kindness towards me by letting me know that, hey, I'm looking out for you. Hey, the team's supposed to have all uniforms ready and they need to be washed before every game. Every practice so the guys can come to the gym and be ready to practice. The water should be here. Everybody needs to be on time and on point. Those type of coaches are real structured with it. He wants everything off the court to work so everything on the court can work. And that's really the real aspects of the game. That's the definition of a real coach. He understands his players. He understands that, listen, I need you to be everything off the court done and ready and set up so you can perform better. Because if you don't have to worry about, I don't have no money to go eat because they didn't come. Like, now, I came here, I don't even have a table to sit at. I've been asking for a table for a week. Cost $30 to go get the table. I'm like, do I need to go get the table? Go get the table. I just need a table to sit down and eat. I ain't got the table yet. I ain't got the table yet. How long do I got to wait for just to sit? You know what? Let me come down. He's a great coach. And I believe that we have a good chance of winning it just because of the winners that we have around us. It would definitely help. And I always like to gauge my team from the beginning and be like, what kind of team we got? And I kind of seen like, yep, just based off that experience level that we have, the structure of the team, we have a really good chance of winning it. Good bench, good backup players, some good rookies. We just need one, but we get that in the summer. Anyways, we have a really good chance. Oh, man. So, coming back to Chile after not playing, or coming back to playing. So, as you realize, the longer you get in the game, sometimes you go and sit out for a while due to life situations. I had to sit out for like 5 months. Last time I played was like 5 months. Well, at an elite level. Meaning practicing every single day, weights practicing every single day. Now I was at home, I trained, I was in the weight room every single day, but I wasn't getting up and down, running, jumping, shooting, getting up 200-300 shots a day like I wanted to because you have to work with building a home or buying a home. So I had to go. There's so many, just like I said, when you were at home, there's so many different things that kind of pull you away from the game. That's why it's so important for you to have that mindset strong enough to be able to make sure you get the things done. Maybe sure I get up in the morning at 5 to go run and hit the weight room sometimes at 5:30 to make sure I'm still keeping my body at least prepared. But there's nothing like coming back to a team after not playing. Boy, I was good. I even got up and ran. Well, I got up this one earlier this week and ran early in the morning, did my runs, ran up this mountain. You know what I'm saying? You got to get that extra, that one more attitude. It hit me today. I ain't even gonna cap. It hit me today. My legs are tight. Man, my back, I don't know what it is, the little tendons underneath your knee. When those hurt, that means a cramp coming. I'm talking about it hit me today. And it just goes to show it doesn't really, all the practicing, all the training you can do when you're at home, once you touch overseas, once you get to your team and you're doing that constant every single day, boy, it's going to hit. It always hit different. I hit my boy up today and I was like, man, it hit me so hard, bro. I feel like you just feel off till you be able to get your legs back under you. He was like, bro, I felt the same thing today. He was like, I went through the same thing, well, not today, but he felt the same thing when he first started in the season. Like, bro, that first week, I felt so off. That's what it was. I felt so off. I felt short. I got no explosion. It's going to take about a good 2 weeks. That's why they have that preseason of 2 weeks of just getting your legs up under you. So I'm in the process of getting my legs up under me because I'm like, oh my goodness, bro. I've been out for so long that my legs is killing me right now. Definitely killing me right now. I think this video, now this is the first time I did a long show, so I do not know about the memory card. I'm seeing something on the memory card saying that would have 4 minutes left on the card. So y'all bear with me. I will see what's going on. But anyways, moving on, man. So one thing I like about this day and age is there are more guys talking about overseas basketball. Now, since I've been in this field, I've kind of started diving into the guys who speak about it. And there's been a few guys that I've been able to find and follow. And I take aspects from what they have to show and what their topic or their information that they provide so we can all get as much information. I'm an avid learner and avid, like, I dive deep into what other guys are speaking about to get their perspective as well, to add to my show, to the people who may not know them, also so they can, so we can constantly learn and grow, because the game is constantly changing, and the more information you get, the better you can survive in this game. So there's one guy, his name is Jose Colorado. Now I like his content because he really gives you the analytical aspects of the game. And he is always coming up, like, his content is great. I really love his content. He's on it. And he's giving you a lot of different aspects to the game. I like to be the one. I feel like I'm the one who's like the spiritual leader of the game. I penetrate your soul and your heart to make a change in you so you can enjoy the fruits of the labor of this game. And he comes from a different aspect. He comes from an analytical aspect, a more upfront approach of what you need to do and how you need to handle yourself, which we speak here as well. But I like to get deep. I want to touch that soul. I want to touch the pressure points to make you really understand, to really test you, because I really believe the mental aspect of this game is the biggest part of this game that we have to learn and adjust to in order to get the most out of the game. Yes, we could tell you what the right agent. Yes, I could tell you to what area you should start off. Yes, I can tell you what leagues you can go to get paid, and what you need to work on, and what drill you should work on, and break down your game and tell you where you would be most effective and what your game will probably translate to the most, that will probably serve you in your career, honestly, from just my expertise. But if your mind is not strong enough to be able to handle it, then it doesn't really matter. And that's where I feel my strong point is. talk to you about the mindset necessary that we need that is detrimental. Oh, that's a good one. Detrimental, which means like you cannot survive in this game without it. If you don't get your mind right, it's not going to happen for you. You're not going to last long in this game if your mindset is not right. But I was going through some of his content, and he put a post up, and it said the 40 lies about overseas basketball. The 40 lies on overseas basketball. Now I'm not going to go through all 40, but he does have a few in here that I do want to go through and just see if we can debunk the lies that are told in overseas basketball and just expand upon them. Like I said, he has really good content, and I like to go and analyze these other guys' content and just break it down from my perspective. Because most guys they say it, but they don't really go in depth. It's like the guys who know, but the guys who don't know. So it's like, yeah, I'm telling you, but it's like, but why? You know? Like, okay, one of the questions was, one of the lies is everyone pays a lot. No, they do not. Actually, majority of teams and organizations are not going to pay you no more than about $2,500 to $3,000 if you are a good player for about your first 4 to 5 years. And that's facts. I've been fortunate enough to get paid more than that because I was able to start winning first. But my first couple of contracts was not no $7,000-$8,000 a contract. And I'm talking about, listen, put this in perspective. I was playing in the second division in Argentina. Good league, good competition, because a lot of guys in the first league plays in the second league. Argentina got really good quality of basketball. But the first league, which is a very big league in South America, of course, Argentina, I was probably making more than about 75% of the people on that team in the second division than they were a lot of guys on the first division. The guys be like, well, how do you know? Because people talk. One thing about overseas basketball players, they all talk. GMs, coaches, do you not realize that they talk? We talk. We let each other know, hey, buddy probably making this amount of money. He getting this amount of money. He getting this. I don't care. We talk. We openly communicate. When I see him and he see me, or my boy knows. Everybody knows a boy that has a boy that has a friend that has a boy that knows him and he knows him. Oh, you know my boy Rashad? Yeah, he played over here in this team and he got a homeboy over here. So we all know each other. We all talk and we all communicate. If we get cool with a person, especially we're on the same team. If I'm the only import on this team and then he's the only import on the team as well, then who else I'm going to chop it up with? So we talk. So I knew I was making more money than this, like 75% of the guys on the team in the first league. So just because you be in a bigger league doesn't mean you're getting paid like that. Doesn't mean you're just cashing out. You're probably good, but most guys really would do better like in the lower league. Like they say, Chile is a lower league, but I can only speak for myself. I know I can make more money here than I would in First League Argentina because they would not, just based on what I've done here and what I built my status up to, going to start on a new team because they're going to try to play you. It's like, bro, you should be paying. First of all, I shouldn't even be getting this much in the first place. You need to be cashing me out because y'all watch people from this side and I did nothing but dominate on this side. So you should really be cashing out, but they don't think like that. Oh, well, you're coming here for the first time, so we got to throw you some low money so we can see how you are. That is a scenario. I have been in that scenario. Those scenarios just exist. Like I said, I can only give you scenarios of which I've been in. I've gotten offered more money in lower leagues than guys in higher leagues. Now, you could say, well, it's for the opportunity. Well, what exactly really is the opportunity when they know exactly the type of player that you already are? It's just kind of like a cat and mouse game, and they're trying to play big bank. Like, I'm just the big dog, so I'm just going to play you, and you're going to have to buy, like, it's just aspects of the game. So, no, but a lot of these teams that be big time, they're not getting really paid out like that. You're not getting really paid like that. Another lie. Once you get an agent, you're good. Now, that's a good one. That's a good one. That is a big lie. Once you get an agent, that means nothing. Let me refrain and put some respect on my agent's name. Put some respect on the good agents that's out there working. I don't want to take nothing away from agents because it kind of does get into it does get very tiring sometimes, because sometimes like you focus so much on your agent working for you and doing everything for you, and I don't want to just speak bad on all agents. I don't even want to speak bad on my agent because they're reworking. I wouldn't be here. Well, I wouldn't say that. I have a different relationship with this team in Chile in general. But most agents, they have so many guys. If you just look at the numbers of guys that some agents have, especially when agents where they're more like in a certain region, they have majority of their guys, like so many players that if one or two fall through the cracks, you might be the ones that's falling through the cracks, even if you're a very good player. They might just try to get you to play on some BS team with not a good situation just because you're just a check to them. Or they got so many other guys that you just don't get. You're not as important. You're not one of the main money makers. Of course, it's like a hierarchy to it. They're going to go to their main money makers first and then cycle it down. I mean, that's just business. In this game, you are your manager. You are your networker. You are your biggest fan. You are your biggest promoter. You are your biggest advocate to get you where you need to be. That comes from highlight film. That comes from hitting up teams and organizations. That comes to promoting yourself. That comes to sometimes even writing your own contract. Negotiating your own terms. Sometimes you're going to be able to have to negotiate and do everything yourself and then pass it to the agent to finish writing it off. Because that's how my last probably 3 contracts has been. The teams hit me up directly. I just send them to my agent so he can handle the logistics and tell, hey, do this, and that, because I don't want to talk with them. You know what I mean? You handle that situation. I got other things I need to do. That's why you have an agent. But starting out or just in general, even now, 10 years in, I don't wait on an agent to find me anything. I go out and seek and talk and hit up guys that I know and build your connections and network with certain guys. And hey, you got an agent in this area, in this region. Do you know this team? Do you know this coach? Have him look at me, vouch for you. You use his word to get you on. You got to back it up, of course. But that's how the game works. You better do your own research. You better go find out how this team plays in this area, what the coaching is like, what that last team imports is like. Did they get rid of it? There's one team in Argentina last year, they got rid of all the imports. All of the imports. That means 3 players y'all fired all of them within the first month. That is some information you might want to know, because the agent might not tell you that, because they looking for another player. I would be a real kind of skeptical if I just went to a team. If I'm going to a team where they just let go 3 players in a month's time, and one of them was averaging 20. So it kind of says, like, what are y'all looking for? Because I might not be what y'all looking for, and I don't know if I want to come out here and then mess up my chance to go somewhere else and not just have have a full season, because once you go somewhere else and they get rid of you there, now you're going to have to wait till who knows when to get another job. Don't let it be in the middle of the season. Let it be like in February. You might not get a job. You might not get a summer job. You probably don't have to wait all the way till the next year around, till the season start, and hopefully you get a job. Because you ain't got no film to back you up. All you got is, why did you get let go from the other team? So if you get an agent, does not mean you're just good. It does not mean that you're just set. I had an agent, you know what he did? My agent did, he take my film that I create for myself and he used that to shop to the teams. I created the film, I chopped it up, I posted it, I put it up, and he just takes my stuff and then he does it. Well, guess what? Now he at least Why? Like, he got so many other players. Like, you got to think about how many players that an agent is really dealing with. And what makes you so special, especially if you're just starting out, even if you are, like, regardless, you are, like, expendable for them. Point blank period. There is way, way, way more players trying to get a job. Even if you say, okay, well, you bring me an average of about this amount of money per year. Or per year I get from you. But there's like 50 to 100 dudes, or let's just say I could sign 20 guys at a fifth of what I get from you, still making 4 times as much from just you. When you break it down to the math, or remember, this is a business. You are your business. You are a business. You are the product. You are the showcase. So you must market and promote that to the best of your ability. That's why I strongly emphasize that, most athletes and players, you need to just get more personal development in yourself. Become more reading, learning how to network and communicate and speak, because that goes a long way with teams and organizations, being able to communicate yourself with certain situations. That's the personal development part that you do for yourself. I'm a big advocate in a player learning how to develop himself, reading and getting information. Yes, there are some guys who don't do all that and make it, but there's going to get to a point. But I don't understand why guys always try to say, like, oh, I'm the one that can make it, like, he did it, so I don't have to do that. Comparison is the killer of joy. You cannot compare yourself to anybody else in this game, in your path. What I can tell you is, you can't rely on you can only rely on yourself to get to where you need to get going, or where you need to go in this game. So you better learn how to educate yourself. Finances, how to manage your money, how to communicate with guys, how to, it's just too many aspects to go over in just one setting. Personal development. That is the main point of what I'm trying to say. Personal development. Because your agent has too many options. You don't want to be, even if you're a good option, he still got options. You know what I mean? Even if you're a good option, he still got options. Another lie. You will get what you deserve. Meaning you will get paid for the type of player that you believe that you are. You will get your just dues. I believe over time, every athlete does. I believe if you're fortunate enough to make it long in this game, you're going to be able to reap the benefits of all that you put in. And in order to do that, it's what I preach so much, is you have to be able to last long enough. Your mind must be strong enough to last long enough to get everything out of this game. Because I'm 10 years in, and I still don't believe I've gotten nearly what I've deserved after all the efforts that I put in. But that's what I got. So clearly that is what I deserve. And instead of just having the mindset, well, I deserve to have this and this and that, look at what you do have, or what you've gained, be grateful for that, and constantly work on how to improve it. It's just a slight shift in your mental, in your perspective. So I started looking more at, look what I have been able to gain. Let me take that information, and how do I use that to improve and get more for myself? Because the longer you're in the game, you understand different countries, different tactics, different ways. You start thinking of the longer game. Well, if I'm able to play on this team for 2 years at this price, I'm able to get this amount. Now you're looking at it from a yearly perspective compared to season by season. It's just lasting long enough to go through enough to earn enough for yourself or earn enough to make it make sense. Because time will be the only thing that can tell you if it makes sense. If you have the same salary from the time you're a rookie till year 8, you might not, you know what I mean? If that's all the job offers you're getting, $1,200 a month, $1,000 a month, and you're in 6-7 years in the game, that's a pivotal point that maybe this is not for you. You know? But if your money has increased and you had situations and then it was like a low and then it goes back up and you're hovering around this number, let's say $5,000-$6,000 a month, that is just, you're not going to go to the crib and just make $5,000-$6,000 a month for 2 hours a day of practice. And 2-3 days off in the week sometimes. A day off here, a shoot around day, you know. Practice here for an hour and a half, stretch. Making a good $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 a month consistently, or 2 years, being able to settle yourself with a club for 2 years at $7,500, $8,000 a month. You start doing the math. Okay, there's 2-year contracts guys pay where they go home and they still getting paid. That's what you want. It takes time to build up to that. It's very doable. But it takes time to build up with that. Staying with a club 3 years, knowing that they're going to pay you, knowing your situation's good, it gives you a chance to build yourself. You understand? So it gives you a chance to build yourself. Those are a few. When he had a lot, those are just a few of them that he went through that I wanted to just go through because, like I said, sharing different perspectives of all the guys in the game and not solely one perspective, basically just my perspective. But just it's good to see how other guys think and how we all relate to the same things in this game, how everything ties in together. We're about to close. This has been an eventful show. This is the first time I've ever went down this route. If you guys made it this far in the show, I thank you for sticking with me and being a part of the process, being a part of this journey. Not only as I embark upon the journey of an overseas basketball player, you get to join me and your journey. This inspires you to not only start your journey, but it gives you some hope of guidance along your own. So the question I leave for you as we close out the show is, what will you do today that will move the needle forward for you? What are the steps that you're willing to take? What are the sacrifices that you're willing to make in order to have the career that you want? We talked about a strategic plan. We talked about the mindset. We talked about self-development and becoming the type of person that you need to become to reap the benefits from this game. So what will you do today to move the needle in your favor? I read a book called Limitless that says once you ask the question, that is your answer. Because your brain begins to formulate and goes in search of the things that we desire. By simply asking the question, it is the very answer to the question we seek. So today, as aspiring pros, as pros right now, if you're in the game, wherever you may be, what will you do to move the needle forward in your favor? How will you increase in yourself to not only increase in your bank account, but to increase your mental fortitude? How will you use this game to not only better your life, but have a pathway for those behind you who are looking to take the same journey that you are taking? I've been fortunate enough to play this game for quite some time, and I feel it's my duty to share the experience to whoever may want to follow along this path. But along this path, there's a lot of sacrifices one must make in order to achieve what you seek to achieve out of this game, whatever that may be for you. It may be fame, it may be traveling the world, it may be trying to earn as much money as you want. There's so many different aspects that this game offers. It may be the free time. You may be just good enough to play and get paid decent amount of money and just use all the free time to build a business for yourself. Because of the opportunity that you have and all the free time that you have. Whatever that may be for you as an individual, what will you do to take one step towards achieving that? What will you do to move the needle in your favor? Who will you help? Who will you inspire? I was listening to a podcast today on 19 Keys, and he was saying we all are leaders in our own right. If there's 30,000 people in the march, we can only see the person in front of us. That person is leading us. And the person behind you, you are leading them. So we are all leaders in our own right. So what we do in our process of leading, we're leading someone else behind us. So what will you do to be the best leader you can? Because most of us, I can speak for myself, am a first generational professional basketball player. I'm the first. Me and my cousin are the very first professionals of anything in the sports arena of this magnitude. So we're first generational pro players. It won't be the last of us, but for majority of us, it is we are the first ones to be experience this life and show to the people in our city, our family, people who never would have thought you would make it this far. We normally are the very first in this field. So we have a responsibility to be everything for the ones that are watching us. We have to understand the power in the words and the actions and the discipline that we have, that we can pass down strictly from our actions, strictly from the dream of making it as a pro. Do we take the free time for granted? Or do we hone in on the blessing that we have and the responsibility that we have to get 1% better each day, to move the needle forward each day? That is the question I leave with you guys. Take that in the heart. Ask yourself, what can you do to move the needle? That's all I have for this segment, this episode, this show, man. If you made it this far, I'm glad that you was able to experience the rebirth, the new, as the show grows, I grow, and we all grow together, man. So if you were able to make it this far, I thank you. Leave me a rating on Apple, on the podcast. I'm growing. I'm a one-man army right now, solo player, first professional, trying to carve my way into this game, trying to say, hey, bro, this is what I did. So don't go down that path. Look, if you want to know something, hit me up. You can follow me on all platforms, the Arnold's Thoughts podcast on all platforms. If this helped you in any way, and you know someone that might just need a pick-me-up or an athlete that just wants to start their career, I challenge you to share this with them. Give them the insights of what a 10-year professional in this game knows and just wants to give back to them and pour into them, so they can one day experience and be the first of the generation for them. That's all I've got. I'm grateful for you guys. I'm thankful. I'm ecstatic to even get on this show and share my experience. I want to leave you with this slogan. It's true and it's dear to what everything this podcast, this show stands for, and that is greatness is a habit and not a right. Your greatness depends on the habits that you do every single day. It's not given to you. You're not just going to wake up and you say that I deserve it. It is a habit, a consistent daily habit to become great. Greatness is a habit, not a right. That's all I got. Till next time. Hey guys, thanks for tuning into the show. Please subscribe on our YouTube, Spotify, Apple, and wherever you listen to your podcast. I greatly appreciate it.